Hello, Malik.
Divisha.
Yeah, today we are going to speak about hypervisor security and virtualization in cloud computing. So let's move. So, what is virtualization? Virtualization is a process of implementing virtual version computer hardware platforms, operating systems, storage devices, and computer network resources. So basically, virtualization is a software technology which enable multiple operating systems and applications to share the resources of a single physical machine. So with this virtualization, it brings many benefits to the current tech, IT fields in implementing devices. Also, in many ways. So, virtualization is the main technology that is used for cloud computing, as we are discussing now. So, let's move on to the benefits of virtualization. Malik will describe it. Yeah, Malik.
Dishan. Uh, Dishan, talk about what is virtualization is. Virtualization is. Now we know the benefits of virtualization. There are many benefits. First one is the server consolidation and improved resource utilization.
Yeah.
And the other one is reducing power consumption. Next one is reducing IT cost with virtualization.
Yeah.
The main three things considered about the well, just like one thing, the common thing is most of the time, earlier days we used, we know Divishan, we used to partitions machines, just like if
Yeah.
we use two OS, we
Yeah.
need to partition our machine to the two uh,
Two accounts. Yeah.
two
Two.
partitions.
Yeah.
Nowadays we don't do that because we have
Yeah.
a VirtualBox, we have a VMware, and just like yeah, we just we just like the virtual systems. So we can run many virtual machines in the VMware or virtual box. So
Yeah.
that's the benefits of main benefits of virtualization. And the other one is there is a improving server management.
Yeah.
That's one also the benefits of virtualization. Reduce required space. I mentioned you we earlier days we want to partition our hard disk to the two OS. Like one is we can use Windows, or other one is we can use Linux. We need to partition our hard disk to two OS.
Yeah.
Nowadays we don't do that
Yeah.
because we can use one hard disk, and we can install the host
Yeah.
system to the hard disk, and we can run virtually other virtual systems. That's the
Yeah.
benefits of virtualization. Last one is the faster redevelopment and the easier backup strategy. We
Yeah.
can get backup very fast because we don't want to uh, proceed to do that. We can copy and
Yeah.
paste to the another page when the place. That's the
Yeah.
main benefits of virtualization.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next slide, Dishan.
Yeah. So virtualization in cloud computing. So essentially, we have to get the idea of what is cloud computing and what is virtualization and how it is differ from each other. So essentially, virtualization differs from cloud computing because virtualization is software that manipulates hardware, while cloud computing refers to service that result from that manipulation. So virtualization is a foundational element of cloud computing. Yeah, basically, cloud computing is built through virtualization technique. So as we can see, this cloud computing brings company access to complex application and massive computing resource via internet. So by using this virtualization technique, cloud service providers can achieve higher density, which translate into better margin. So as Malik discussed, they can reduce their cost in higher way. So they can profit in a large way. So, so these are the this is how differ from cloud computing and virtualization. So the basic idea is the cloud computing is using the virtualization technique uh, to enhance this service. So let's move on to the next slide. So this is virtualization risk that have occurred in present days. So Malik will describe.
Yes,
It's,
Dishan. In there is a risk about virtualization as also many other things as same things like risk. So virtualization has most there is a main or a common risk in virtualizations. First one is VM spyware. Uh, is when VM spyware is something like phenomenon that occurs when a number
yeah,
of virtual machines on a network reach a point where the administrator can no longer manage them effectively.
yeah,
That's the main thing about the virtual spyware. Virtual
yeah,
spyware or a VM spyware,
yeah,
they call as a virtual service spyware, and
yeah,
also many times. The other one is they are mentioned sensitive data within a VM.
yeah,
In a virtual machine, we can use passwords and many other sensitive like personal profiles, batch profiles, and many other things. That is other risk in the virtualization.
So
In
we
other,
can we cannot assure the confidentiality or the validity of the data which are stored in a VM. No, the risk is in there. Yeah, you're
oh,
right.
that kind of things also in there. So the other one is the security offline and dominant VMs. What is
Yeah,
that one is the uh, enterprise level one. The enterprise
yeah,
leverage the dynamic nature of VM by provisioning and decompressioning them as needed for the uncontrolled environment, scheduled for maintenance and the disaster
yeah,
recovery and to support workers who need the computational resources on
yeah,
demand. That is the security of offline and dominant VMs.
yeah,
And the other one is security of per-configured VM, just like that active VMs. And the other one is lack of visibility into and control over the virtual networks. Next one is resource enhancement, and the other one is hypervisor security. Uh,
yeah,
these slides we create about the hypervisor security. As am
yeah.
I right?
Yeah, you're right. So both of us are going to discuss about the hypervisor security. So the threats that are involved to the hypervisor. So basically, let's focus on what is hypervisor basically. So hypervisor is we can call it as a virtual machine monitor. So this is an additional layer of software between VMs and the underlying hardware platform with or without a host OS. So basically, so as mentioned, so if the hypervisor is compromised, even though the VMs are protected by through advanced security mechanism, it cannot be uh, guaranteed their security because uh, all of the VMs are all of the VMs are on hypervisor. So if we can compromise hypervisor anyhow, so that is the threat for the VMs. So basically, those risks that are mentioned by Malik will definitely occur if anyone can compromise in hypervisor. So these are the main secure threat in hypervisor. So this is the most essential layer for the virtualization. So we have to focus uh, much more to this layer, the security of this layer. So these are the vulnerabilities in hypervisor in present day. So Malik will describe it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dishan. The hypervisor also has a vulnerability like just like the virtualization I mentioned. The hypervisor has vulnerability like hypervisor configured may not to be hardened to reduce area of vulnerability.
yeah,
The next one is vendor recommended best practices have not to be adopted.
yeah,
The next one is unused physical hardware device and connect to and file sharing services and not disabled. Like if we connect to the internet, we need to many things like protecting from virus card and worms. Just like we want to disable our like things we
yeah,
when we can connect to the internet.
yeah,
Am I right, Dilshan?
yeah,
These security alerts are not implemented properly.
yeah,
If we if we have to face in risks, we need to alert about that. We don't know about that.
yeah.
What is the risk?
Without any proper alerts, we cannot identify what are the ongoing threats. No, yeah, that's right.
We
So
don't get alert. It can happen many things to our system or we company. The
yeah,
company can be down or it break down.
yeah,
Uh, this other vulnerability has hypervisor self integrity and check are not conducted upon boot up.
yeah,
That's the main vulnerabilities in hypervisor.
yeah.
Next, we move up to the slide, Dishan.
Yeah, so the Malik described the uh, threats that are occurring to the hypervisor. So these are some suggestions that we both of us given for this one, and let's focus to the suggestions. So as we mentioned, hypervisor is the basic layer that all of VMs are standing on hypervisor. So we have to give much more attention to the hypervisor. So these are the suggestions. So take to we need to take extra care in integrating hypervisor into existing patch management process, and also keeping the management network and the virtual machine data networks physically secure. Basically, if we can keep our virtual machine data network and the physical network separately, then the access through physical network to the virtual network will be uh, not be easier. Yeah, not be easier. So if an intruder tries to come through the uh, physical network to the virtual machine, then it will be uh, not fair. So another suggestion is limit remote and console access to the system. So basically, we are preventing our access to our host machine. Then it will be safer. It will be safe. It will be help to save our VMs, and also harden the hypervisor configuration to reduce area of vulnerabilities. Yeah, the levels of configuration in hypervisors are different. So basically by default it's coming up into a certain level, so we can enhance the security in hypervisor also, and also disconnect unused physical hardware devices and disable clipboard or file sharing services. uh, these are the solutions. Furthermore, Marit will describe. Yeah, Marit.
Dishan. As I mentioned earlier, we need to turn on alerts and implement the security updates properly. Otherwise, the hacker or
Yeah,
the unauthorized person get access to the hypervisor.
yeah,
Dishan mentioned the hypervisor is a basement of the virtualization.
yeah,
If a hacker or unauthorized person get the access to the hypervisor, then he can control the virtual machine, whole virtual machine. Am I
yeah,
right, Dishan?
yeah, yeah,
That's why we need to turn on the alerts and implement the security updates properly. Next
yeah,
one is turn off unnecessary services and
yeah,
manage the permission is guest VMs.
yeah,
That means we need to turn off unnecessary services. We patch the unwanted ports and we need to manage permissions to guest. We don't grant to access to the administrator files because administrator can the manage whole system. We if we or unauthorized person get the access to the administrator, that is
Yeah.
more effective things to the system. That's
Yeah.
why we manage the permission to the guest.
Yeah.
Other one is the make sure that effective hypervision patch management practice is in the place.
Yeah.
So uh,
So yeah, these are the basic suggestions that are for the risk that involve for the hypervisor. So basically, in this discussion, both of us are try to come up with suggestions for the security hypervisor. So this is the end of our discussion. So thank you, Mali. So, and thank you.
thank you,
Yeah.
Nishan.